The Chinese pretty much own Jamaica. I mean, the Jamaican government is giving them concessions, land concessions. They're building hotels, beach resorts. They're building 2 schools for the Jamaicans. And what the Jamaicans have to give them in turn is the right to certain lands, the right to certain waterways. And if it doesn't stop, Jamaica, ironically, the land of Marcus Garvey and Bob Marley, will be the first Chinese colony in the Caribbean.
Wow.
It's getting bad. And you know why it's happening? Because the black bourgeoisie leadership in both Africa and the Caribbean, they don't have to live with the consequences of the economic decisions they make.
From being an influential country in the Caribbean and in this world, little did we know that Jamaica is run by the Chinese. Why is this so? With the first video we have just watched, you can clearly get to understand this statement up. Jamaica will soon become a Chinese colony. First time viewers and subscribers, I'm Marvin, and please and kindly feel free to hit the subscribe icon below and follow my page. You can as well share this video to your family and friends if you are not an alien or a robot, because I believe aliens and robots cannot do so. Most of all, like this video up, family. We all know Jamaica has hosted Chinese people since the 1800s. Why? Because up to now, Jamaicans are being colonized by the Chinese people. We can see the Chinese heavily infested in Jamaica. Majority of the Chinese who are in Jamaica were born there. It is because of the pre-colonial era. But today we get to understand why is the Chinese people influencing Jamaica and taking over Jamaica. Let's watch the following videos I've compiled for you, and we'll come back at the end and discuss more implications of Chinese taking over Jamaica. Let's watch the following videos.
I don't like the way in which the Jamaican government has allowed the Chinese to come in and take over. I believe they own the major port there. I believe that the Jamaican government has given them lands in exchange for services. I believe they built at least 1 hospital there, a couple of schools. They had constructed a north-south highway or northwest highway that connects one part of the island to the other, so you don't have to drive all the way around to get there, which was necessary. But from what I read, in exchange for them building the highway, the Jamaican government has allowed them to keep, I believe, nearly all of the toll fees on that highway for a certain amount of years. We're giving up too much to get too little. And what bothers me the most about Jamaica, they are the most Pan-Africanist and the most unapologetic of the Caribbean islands. And so if China can take Jamaica, taking the rest of the Caribbean won't be that difficult.
We suffer every day. Can you imagine? We have been here for centuries and we're still lagging around. If we to start a business in Jamaica, it's one of the hardest things to start a business. While the Chinaman come from China, come to Jamaica, start a business, none tax for 5 years. And by the time the 5 years come when him to start pay tax, he making cousin and he never and he uncle come and him gone. So and listen, this have been happening for centuries. So this have nothing to do with PNP or JLP. And you know, at the end of the day, none of them no want to fix it, because all of them want us to, the black man, to stay at the back.
So everyone has been asking how the Chinese mechanics got into Jamaica. Well, here are the facts. Did you know that in 2015, Jamaica signed over the Kingston Freeport, our main port, our lifeline to China, who has full control for 30 years? Now they control what comes in and they control what goes out. That's why the Chinese mechanics and other companies move the way they want. No one to answer to. No real checks. No oversight. They run the port, they hold the gate. Why do you think it's after the fact Pika stepped in? Because they don't even know what's going on. But somebody know. Because when it comes to these little things, don't think you can think on the same level you were programmed to think on. You have to change your frequency sometimes. And we're standing on the outside of our own house. We can't even act like we never know. Listen, we will never get out of slavery, because a nation that can't even control its own port is a nation already conquered, just without the chains.
Where are the Chinese them that own stores in Jamaica? That me not see no Chinese in Jamaica giving back nothing to the Jamaican people, But every time we as Jamaican people want any farmer product for use in our life, in our homes, and the Chinese store that we go to buy them. And as the storm pass, the Chinese store them are the first stores them to open up back. But we see different entities from outside and other countries and other people helping Jamaica and giving back. But me not see none of the Chinese them giving back nothing to the people that was supporting them, you know, and make them have millions of dollars in them pocket, you know. So where are the Chinese them? Me think the Jamaican people need to hold the Chinese them in a Jamaica accountable. Cause the Chinese they just a suck away from the Jamaican people like goat kid and cow calf, you know, and newborn. Eh? Where are the Chinese them for your help and donate back to the Jamaican people?
I have a question for Andrew Holness, Kamina J. Smith, and Dr. Horace Chang. As a Jamaican, I'm really concerned, and I just want to express myself, and maybe other Jamaicans feel the same way. In Jamaica, we have over 76,000 Chinese living there, whether they are Chinese descendants or recently migrated to Jamaica, right? Boom. Chinese are able to work in our country, have businesses for over 5 years without paying taxes, while Jamaican people or Jamaican new entrepreneurs who starts businesses have to pay taxes off rip. First of all, they can't even get funding to start a business, much less. Now, what the Chinese them do is once reach 5 years, they just call down another family member and put the business in their name, and the process continues, and they don't pay taxes, right? But that's not really why I'm here. I'm here because I realized that even as Jamaicans, we need a visa to go to China. But check this out. Chinese don't need a visa to come to Jamaica. That is unfair. To me, that's all ridiculous. You know how much Jamaicans would love to go to China for whatever reasons, whether short stay, business, or pleasure. Like, there gotta be some type of renegotiation. This is 2025, not 1865. So Andrew Holness, Dr. Horace Chang, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kamina J. Smith, my namesake, please, me I beg you, look into this. Think about it as a politician. Me I have the education I own have, you know. Zane, me I don't know a doctor and them thing. I'm just a regular Jamaican. We have sense and common sense. So, Uno tell me the scholars, if that makes sense. Uno really need to do something about that. Do something about all of these countries where can come to our country and all these things and all get all these easy access to things. But Jamaicans have to struggle so much. Enough fear. Do something about that. Me I beg you now, please.
The real question here is, will China take over Jamaica in the next 5 years? If Jamaica will be taken over by the Chinese, it means other Caribbean countries will be taken over by the Chinese. Reason being, Jamaica is an inflation country in the Caribbean. When it is taken over by the Chinese, it means the Chinese people will have access to other Caribbean countries. Imagine you invite an investor into your country, he builds a road. Instead of it, the money going back to your government, it is going to the other country's government. That is exactly what is happening in Jamaica. When the Chinese build a road, I believe there's a road from north to south. The toll fees they charge on this road is taken back to the Chinese government. It is not helping the Jamaican government. Shockingly, this will run in the next 5 years. How will your country develop? This shows you how the Chinese influence will take over Jamaica in the next coming years. We have heard also that if you want to visit China, you need to have a visa, and the vice versa. If a Chinese person wants to visit Jamaica, it is totally free. No visa is required. Is this really fair to the Jamaican people? I would like to know your experience in Jamaica. Is there a heavy population of Chinese people in Jamaica? How will the government of Jamaica handle this situation? Because they really need to handle this, because all their beaches, all the resorts are owned by the Chinese people. All the beautiful roads you see in Jamaica are owned by the Chinese people. Is it true that Jamaica will soon become a Chinese colony with the way things are running? Let me know your response on the comment section below, and I will humbly respond to you good people. See you on the next episode, and thank you for watching. Wagwan family, goodbye.